All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, gotta wake the chain up,
We're
get
back.
injected with some power,
Now
pull
they
some
got me.
strings, level up
Let's
like
go,
a
ladies and
king.
gentlemen. We're back.
Uh,
We're back.
Came from the trenches, now we ballin' at the top.
True.
Rizzler energy, presidential, watch the ops. Drip too saucy,
I'm
pop
back,
a
ladies and
fifth,
gentlemen. They're getting on me.
different. 1600 on the throne, out here looking brilliant. No scooty, I'm the dope from sharper than blade. Four attacks, make these clowns pay for all the
Let's
shade.
go.
Bustin' moves, no mid, got the
They
game
want to
in the
report
choke.
me.
Yeeted the doubt,
Now I'm
Lexi
getting
hit
there.
this
I didn't want to
spoke.
get here, ladies and
From the
gentlemen, but
Bay
we're
to
back.
DC, I keep them on their toes. Level up with the blueprint, watch the empire grow. Ghosted all the fakes, now my
We're
circle
back,
ain't
ladies and
one.
gentlemen. Now I got to get the
Moving
Rizzler
100
energy.
in, this race is already won.
Hey,
Better drippin', got the
let's get this
power,
thing
vision
going again.
crystal
Hold
clear.
on.
Thick with ambition, yeah, making history right here.
Let's go.
Ops talking wild, but they cannot touch the throne. Posted
They are.
in the Oval Office, trapping in the zone. Past the hate, got my foot on the gas. Bulletproof, yeah, my aura is built to last. Slack with the plane, moving chest, not
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it back going.
Flex, got my game on the necklace. Level up, we taking over those spots. Get too clean, get it hoppin'. We ain't
All right.
gonna never stop. No.
We're not gonna never stop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So I just got done getting flagged because they said that my live is too painful for MAGA. So let's just get started and take care of the next part of this. And you know what that is. If you are a Trump supporter, do me a huge favor and honestly, just leave my platform. I don't got time to sit around here and listen to you, all right? Because you don't want to come up here and talk. And we get it. You're a bunch of snowflakes. You're too weak. You're weaklings. And that's fact because Donald Trump called you weaklings. All right. So don't come over here to the Democrat side of things and get triggered. No, go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts because they'll lie to you. I have no reason to lie to you. All right. Go hang out with them because they'll lie to you. But over here, we won't lie to you. All right. And we're going to make it very, very uncomfortable for you. I promise you I will. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Yeah.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time,
Yeah.
very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome have officially closed. Yeah. So as I was saying, all right, I do believe Donald Trump is scared to death right now, and literally scared to death because he's had the whole summer to try to get this Epstein thing under control. And it's not worked, especially because of folks like myself, folks like all of you. Yeah, all of us, even though Congress was not really, they went on vacation a little early to try to distract us. We have never took our eye off the prize, and we've been keeping an eye. We've been making sure the Epstein files is always something that's, in the mainstream media as much as we can, even though the media doesn't always want to do it. And now here we are, Congress. Congress has returned, and so you can hear it. This is what's going to happen in a short order.
Lawmakers returned to work on Capitol Hill today. They've got several pressing issues to tackle after their August recess. That includes the House, which took an extended break following Republican leaders' concerns about members pushing for a vote on a resolution to force the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Prior to their break, House Speaker Mike Johnson contended that by September, the DOJ would be more able to give transparency on the files, making a resolution to compel their release unnecessary. Meanwhile, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California says he and Republican Congressman Thomas Massie of Kentucky will hold a joint news conference this week with victims of Epstein.
So that's going to be coming out, and you have to go into where Donald Trump is right now. Everything he tried to distract us, including breaking the law, and I'll go into the ways Donald Trump has broken the law. All right, it didn't work. Yeah, MAGA. We're going to make sure when this is all said and done, you all live with the permanent shame on your cursed souls, that includes you willfully, voluntarily voting for somebody who we all suspect is a P3DO. Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom? Let me get this straight, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom. You have no problem voting for a P3DO? Is that what I just heard you say? Is that what I just heard you say, Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom? Because I have a huge problem if you don't have a problem. I'm going to be honest with you. You're a grown adult. Well, I shouldn't say that. I expect you to do better. No, but I'm saying if he is one. Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, if he is proven to be one, irrefutable evidence, would you then have a problem? No, Jeff, you too. No, Jeff. See, MAGA, this is why I do this show. It's because they want to call me all kinds of things other than a child of God. But all I'm doing is I'm sharing facts with you. The man is sick, and this is going to be his avenue to try to navigate this because everything else he didn't work. So one of the things that I wanted to call out is this. Did you all hear about Robert Mueller? Did you all hear the latest news about Robert Mueller? I'll just read this. Former special counsel who led the Russia investigation during President Trump's first term has had difficulty speaking in recent months. A congressional committee dropped a request for Mueller to testify this week. Robert Mueller, ladies and gentlemen, has Parkinson's disease, all right? And he was diagnosed this summer in the summer of 2021. The family said he retired from the practice of law at the end of the year. He taught law school at his alma mater during the fall of 2021 and 2022, and then he retired at the end of 2022. All right, and so this statement from the family came after the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee said that it would subpoena him on Tuesday. All right, and they wanted to question him about his handling of the Epstein investigation when he served as its director from 2001 to 2013. This Epstein stuff, it spans multiple administrations. And I'm at the point, honestly, bring every president. I love Barack Obama and I love, Joe Biden. But just go ahead, start with Bush, bring all of these presidents in, get their DOJs to come on in there, and let's just get straight down to business. What the heck did you know? Why didn't and the questions gotta get answered, all right? And I'll know who's telling the truth, because I'll tell you one thing, based on what I know, if things about Russia and Israel don't come up, then I'm gonna know you're probably lying, all right? But what's even more alarming is this, ladies and gentlemen, and I gotta say it that way because if you've actually been following what's been going on, this is a matter of national security tied into some of the most worst crimes you could ever see happening committed here in the United States. And you just can't help but wonder, okay, why is all the weird, crazy stuff happening when Donald Trump is in office? That's the part that gets me. It's like, okay, before Donald Trump, well, actually it started under the Republican with George Bush, right? Why did Alex Acosta give him that sweetheart deal? All right, and that's the good question. And according to Trump supporters, they'll tell you, oh, well, Trump was coordinating with the FBI to try to nab Epstein, but Trump has never said that. So we're getting a lot of information. And then in Trump's first term, you just saw Epstein basically get sucked in and eliminated in record speed. And you're going, Trump, what are you hiding? Why are you doing all of this and putting Americans at risk because of this? Okay. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say is this, because, they mentioned Ro Khanna is going to, have a press conference with Epstein victims. And I just want to make sure MAGA understands this. And this is why I truly believe Donald Trump is missing in action. Khanna and Massey are going to hold a press conference with the Epstein victims. With Congress back in session this week, Representative Ro Khanna, a Democrat from California, and Thomas Massey, a Republican from Kentucky. So you can't say this is a left hit job. This is a left or a right hit job. This is bipartisan stuff going down, all right? They are going to push House Speaker Mike Johnson in the White House for transparency in the Jeffrey Epstein case. The next step, a Wednesday press conference with not one, not two, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but 10 Epstein victims. Think about this, MAGA. 10 victims of Jeffrey Epstein having a press conference. Now you understand why Donald Trump is freaking out and he's panicking. The man Yeah, he sees death around the corner, hypothetically. Because you got to ask yourself, what can these 10 victims say? Right? What can these 10 victims say? Tiny Tank Top Tim Tom, are you still there? Because earlier you were trying to say Trump isn't in those files. But at a bare minimum, Trump is scared to death because he knows his FBI has confirmed he's all over those files. We already know that. That's his own DOJ meeting with him. Hey, clear your calendar. Who's coming? Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and about 300 gigabytes of data, and some FBI officials with a spreadsheet that has your name in all these random places. Mr. President, what do you have to say about your name all over these files? So that's going to be a huge elephant in the room Trump can't get rid of. But then you're going to have 10 random victims. And anybody out there knows it's already bad when you have one person accusing you of something. But then you get 2, 3, 4, 10. What are they going to say? Now, maybe they won't say anything about Donald Trump directly, but at a bare minimum, they're going to have to say something about Ghislaine Maxwell, right? They're going to have to say something about Ghislaine Maxwell. The woman that Donald Trump's DOJ took from a low security prison pretty much, and then put them in like the lowest of lowest, a celebrity prison, basically it's like a college campus. Took them from like being in a situation where they're really having to be monitored, lots of controls, and then just said, you know what, why don't you just go to Club Fed and just take a day off? She's an S trafficker, and she was convicted of that. Victims have already made statements and said she's worse than Epstein. So when these 10 victims come out and they start to speak, you got to imagine this is not going to be good for Donald Trump, MAGA. And so this is why I say a lot of y'all, this is bad news. Your souls are going to be, your souls are tattooed permanently. Let me say that again. You will have to live, you Trump supporters, y'all will have to live with the shame of this the rest of your life. And I already know a lot of y'all are too scared and cowardly that when it all comes crashing down, you'll be out here and say, I never voted for Donald Trump. You'll say that. You'll try to destroy all the evidence that you supported Donald Trump. You're going to try to wipe your social media accounts. And you're going to try to pretend like you never, ever supported Donald Trump because you want to save face. But unfortunately, I'll know who you are and I'll be able to figure out who's who because you can't hide the demon inside. And so what I want to do is this, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire first round. This is for all of the Trump supporters who have cursed souls. Democrats are not better. Hold on. D, come on up. Oh, D, I can't even invite you. Okay, D. Well, here's the thing, D. You don't think Democrats are better? That's a lie from the pits of hell. We're the ones actually saving the country, D. Did you know that? If it wasn't for us Democrats, there wouldn't be any pressure on Trump's DOJ to get those files out here so that we can actually get to the bottom of it. See, D, you know what the problem is? Y'all cared about these files so much when y'all thought it was the Democrats in there. And you know what? Bill Clinton is in there. And we got hell for Bill Clinton too. Please, if Bill Clinton did something harmful to these kids, all right, let him go too. But the difference between me and you is, D, you can't say the same thing about this guy in the background, who you could tell God's judgment is already on him. Look at that cursed hand. What man has a cursed hand like that? And it's on display for the entire world to see. This man invited a war criminal, D, Vladimir Putin. You know of him. You may have heard of him, right? Go look it up, D. And I asked one Trump supporter to look it up, and they haven't came back. Vladimir Putin puts children from Ukraine onto a website for sale. You know what that is, right? That's trafficking. And guess what, D? This guy right behind me, Donald Trump, invited him to the United States of America and had our men and women in uniform roll out the red carpet. D. And so, D, you know what? You just got me there. I'm going to warm up the Lake of Fire, D, because you still can't process this. I'm overloading your mainframe. I'm overloading your servers. Because guess what? I know D isn't really in there. Where is D? D's gone. Who's there? MAGA Demon. Well, guess what, MAGA Demon inside of D? Do us all a huge favor and go straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA Demon.
W, Zeus. somebody said what I'm doing is comical. Well, I hope you're not a Trump supporter and you said that. All right, if you're a Democrat and you said that, I'll let that slide. But if you're a Trump voter and you think what I'm doing is comical, I got some bad news to say. And I've learned this throughout the years. Someone once told me, same thing make you laugh, it'll make you cry. W Zeus. Better watch out. Same thing make you laugh can make you cry. I'll be honest with you. It was all nice. Oh yeah, it was funny when she did it that way, but then you found out she wasn't doing it with you, and all of a sudden it wasn't so cute. Yeah. I used to be a lot nicer when it comes to talking about these things. I did, but since we've gotten to this point in the country where we're realizing that we can't be kind to MAGA anymore, and especially when they are willfully surrendering this country to Vladimir Putin, we just can't be, all right? And so with that being said, it goes on to the next part of my my story. Now, you all have heard about this, but this is something that happened in Texas, and I just gotta know. Is this true? Is this true? Because I'm not from Texas, but I'm going to be vulnerable. I grew up in a red state, all right? I tell people I grew up in Idaho. And what this kid did, I've done it hundreds of times. It was a thing to do, all right? But now I'm hearing, once again, we have children being harmed. And so I want to get this on the record, all right? Because this is the state that's out there gerrymandering, trying to get, and no disrespect to the real Republicans and my fellow Democrats and independents out there who are actually children of light, not darkness. But when I heard this story, I got vibes that this definitely is some MAGA demon stuff. So let's go ahead and get this on the record.
Police in Houston say the 11-year-old victim was playing Ding Dong Ditch with friends when around 11:30 p.m. Saturday, they rang the doorbell of this house and ran off.
Shootings occurred from a weather side.
Police say a witness saw a man run out with a handgun, firing 2 to 3 shots, hitting the boy in the back.
I think they were able to run for about a block before he lost consciousness and dropped in the street. I believe he lives a block away.
The boy pronounced dead at the hospital the next day.
That's very, very devastating.
It's an innocent life taken that he could have avoided.
Yeah.
Police detaining a middle-aged man, saying they found a significant number of guns in the home.
Right.
He has not yet been charged.
In my opinion, that doesn't look like any type of self-defense. It wasn't close to the house, so it'll more likely be a murder charge.
Murder.
This incident similar to a door-kicking challenge trend on social media. Police in Arizona say this video shows a group of kids participating in the challenge, kicking the front door of a home, targeting the location multiple times. Other doorbell pranks have turned deadly. Earlier this year, a Virginia man was charged with fatally shooting a high school senior whose friends said they were playing Ding Dong Ditch, allegedly kicking in the door. And in 2023, a California man was sentenced to life in prison for...
So, I got to stop it. You don't hear anything about this being some immigrant doing this. No, these are we know who the usual suspects are, a bunch of violent individuals, and I don't know where's the outrage, and where's the whole protect the kids stuff? You can't handle somebody playing a little prank on your door without living in I gotta go do this and do all that. This tells me everything I need to know about what's happening in a lot of places in this country. A lot of y'all truly are scared because you know what it is. You're worried that your sins are going to eventually catch up to you. Yeah, and then in this situation, he goes out there, according to the witnesses, and you can clearly see it's a kid. You can clearly see it's a kid. And I haven't heard anybody on the right speak up and say, what about the children? What about protecting the kids? It's always you gotta go run and grab your pew, but then you come onto my platform, and Dame, I gotta say this to you. You come onto my platform and give us these heartfelt crocodile stories, tears about how much you cared about your dogs. But you ain't got nothing to say when Donald Trump and his administration is sending the National Guards in there to do everything they can to your dog. You ain't got nothing to say when Donald Trump's administration is empowering these radical extremists in random parts of the country, violent people, to just go ahead and unleash hell on the next generation of leaders, especially if they're brothers and sisters, all right? You don't care. And so what I'm going to do is, once again, I've exposed MAGA in their hypocrisy. Do me a favor, Blagga, especially. I'm going to warm up the Lake of Fire, and I'm going to get these other ones out here, the ones that love their little 2A and riding around in those big pickup trucks. talking about how much they care about crime in the inner city, but then on the back end, you're going out and committing it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's send these MAGA demons. It is DJ. I can tell you how it's MAGA. I just told you. All right, because these are the same people that swore an oath to the Constitution, and they're not doing that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's send them straight to hell. That is Trump.
Silence.
Thank you.
You MAGA demon.
Hey DJ, I'm gonna pass a new executive order, and I'm gonna ask Takesha to do it. Perhaps Takesha, could you Rick in the chat? Takesha, could you sign it? Can we get it, Takesha, if you don't mind? I need an executive order that bans MAGA from asking us questions, because it's at this point it's just crazy. DJ, you could go look any answer up to any question you have on your smart device, and I know you got a smart device because you can come online on TikTok. So why ask us questions that you can look up yourself? It's a waste of time at this point. DJ, I expect you to come up here with all the answers to the questions that you have and stand on your principles. And you failed to do that, DJ. You failed since I've known you. And I don't have a problem with you, DJ, because I know you might be a decent person if we weren't talking politics. I could actually see that. But I've just never seen you speak from a position of conviction. I've never seen a Trump supporter speak on their convictions like I have, like Val has, like Shay has, like Jim has. You can't do it, because the moment we find out where your principles and your convictions are, we'll be able to fast track and tie that down to your support for Donald Trump, and then we'll be able to expose that you really don't have those convictions and you're afraid of being judged. I get up here on the internet every morning and I get judged. Why are you so afraid, MAGA? Why is MAGA so afraid to get judged? And I know the answer. It's simple. Because deep in their souls, they know they're wrong. Right? MAGA? Am I right, MAGA? Deep down inside, you know you're wrong. Am I right? Just explain what ties the story to MAGA? No, DJ. No, because listen, DJ, an evil and adulterous generation will seek an answer, but none shall be given to them. This same thing, DJ, that you're doing, it was happening to the good Lord. Now, I'm not Jesus, but you know, and there's several examples in the Bible, DJ, where the scribes and the Pharisees and, you know, the unbelievers would come up to him, prove to us this and prove to us that. And all they were just doing was just looking for ways to reason amongst themselves in terms of how they could plot and try to get Jesus. And DJ, that's not going to happen. All right, DJ, I need you to just wake up. All right, and start with the simplest thing in the book right now, DJ. How are you going to keep giving this guy a pass for everything he does? And when are you at a certain point, DJ, going to say, all right, enough is enough? I am tired of living in shame. I'm tired of holding my head down and walking around here making excuses for this man being in the Epstein files, making excuses for this man breaking the law. DJ, did you know they just ruled today in San Francisco that Donald Trump broke the law? Did you know that, DJ? Yeah, DJ, I never left Donald Trump. W Zeus, look at him. It's another question from DJ. DJ, newsflash, who's in my background? Donald Trump. I never left him, W Zeus. You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. DJ, judge today says the Trump administration's use of the military in Los Angeles violates federal law. DJ. Now, those of us who know Donald Trump is a criminal, none of this is surprising because criminals do what criminals are programmed to do. I'm not surprised. You could tell me anything Donald Trump did, and the first thing I'm going to go, oh, okay, so he broke the law. Yeah, well, that makes sense. He's been convicted of felonies and other things, so yeah. So DJ, I got an honest question. Is breaking the... this is a crazy question. Is breaking the law illegal? And I have to say it that way, but DJ, is breaking the law illegal? Oh, DJ asked me what law did he break? All right, fair enough. Let's go ahead and get more on this. A federal judge ruled today, President Donald Trump, and I don't even want to call him president, and Defense Secretary Pete Kegsbreth violated federal law by using the United States military to help carry out law enforcement activities in and around Los Angeles, this summer. You hear that, DJ? A federal judge said Donald Trump and Pete Kegsbreth broke the law. How many times do we have to deal with these two criminals breaking the law? DJ, is there anything you would like to say to us about that? How do you feel about that, DJ? Is there anything you would like to say to Big Zeus? Where's your, and please condemn this. Whiskey leaks. You know they call them whiskey leaks. And we haven't forgotten about the Signal Gate incident where Pete broke the law then. See, DJ, you can't do it. You can't do it. You're so worried about me saying that guy in Texas was MAGA, and you're worked up about that, but you're not worked up about the sitting president of the United States of America consistently breaking the law. That's crazy to me, DJ. And again, I expect more out of you. I really do. Because what else has Donald Trump done to break the law? All right, so we've talked about him deploying the military and National Guard troops. What about the Alien Enemies Act? You know, executive orders and immigration and deportation. You know, DJ and Snuggles, you know what they used to say to me? Albrego Garcia, he'll never, ever return to the United States. But look at how God works. Albrego Garcia, he ended up coming back to the United States, didn't he, DJ? DJ, Albrego Garcia, the Maryland man you all tried to demonize and say he was this and that, ended up back in the United States because he broke the law. Hey, DJ, look at you. You can't wait to pounce on the immigrants, can you, DJ? I see how quick you could do that. What about Alligator Alcatraz, DJ? Shut that down, huh? See, when you plan and try to plot evil schemes, the good Lord has a way of exposing you, all right? And that's another WZ. Dismantling our diversity, DEI stuff. All right, he violating civil rights of equal protection clauses. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Donald Trump's administration is doing. Withholding and redirecting congressionally appropriated funds without approval. Okay, that's a violation of the Impoundment Controls Act. We just heard the news about the tariffs, DJ. Remember that? The federal judge said he just can't run around here and just put tariffs on random places. That's illegal. So we have a criminal president who's engaging in just everything he can to break the law, violate the Constitution, and DJ won't say a doggone thing about it. You know what DJ will do, though? DJ will get triggered by President Obama and Joe Biden, all right? And so, DJ, since you want to get triggered by President Joe Biden, I decided, and then I'm going to go to the chat, why don't we listen to President Joe Biden? This is him in 2019, before he became president, speaking about Donald Trump being a Russian asset, and Biden does it in a clever way. And DJ, I hope this triggers you, but I want you to listen to it because I know when you hear what he says, you're going to go, Biden was right the whole time. And then you're going to hopefully issue an apology to President Biden.
This is a guy who has I've looked in his eyes, as they say. This is a guy who has one overarching desire, to break up NATO. And to have America pull away from Europe, the Euro-Atlantic Alliance, because that's the one thing he cannot penetrate if it's strong. But if you have 28 nations all going their own way, he becomes significantly more powerful. And what happens? When you live next door to the bear, and you don't have anybody protecting you, and doesn't have that shotgun out to make sure the bear doesn't get you, then in fact you begin to make accommodations.
And why do you think President Trump wants to help him?
Putin.
I don't think the president of the United States today has any notion of geopolitical concerns. I don't think look, this is a guy who said, and I thought at first it was kind of a joke, but it wasn't. Remember he said seriously a couple months into his administration, you know, this job's harder than running a real estate empire. He knows nothing about foreign policy.
Nothing.
He knows nothing about nuclear deterrence. He knows nothing. I mean, he's demonstrated, and look what's happened. You know, I actually, privately, encourage a number of generals, senior State Department people, foreign policy experts to stay in the administration. Don't leave. Look what's happened.
But is your judgment then that it's ignorance, that he doesn't understand geopolitics, as opposed to he is purposely helping Russia and Putin because he is compromised in some way?
All I know is the results are the same. I can't read his mind. He has done things that seem to me to be completely contrary to reality.
Yeah.
When he stands before the whole world at a G20 meeting and says that I believe Vladimir Putin did not interfere in our elections, and these 18 intelligence agencies that work for us, in fact, do. They think he did, but I think they're wrong. What is that about?
That's the question.
I don't know, but the result is the same. It has drastically weakened our standing around the world.
Thank you.
Poll came out not long ago, Gallup and Pew, showing that we rank just below China in respect and just above Russia. What's going on? Look, when we are not leading, we've led the world by the example, not just of our power, but the power of our example. And when he, there's three things I've learned. I've learned Vladimir Putin doesn't want me to be president. That's why he's spending a lot of money on these bots trying to tell me lies about me.
Yeah.
I've learned that Kim Jong-un thinks I am a rabid dog should be beaten to death with a stick, and he gets a love letter from Trump. And I learned that Donald Trump doesn't want me to be the nominee. This president is the most unusual politician I've ever worked with. And he doesn't seem to have any sense of who we are. I mean, he's ripping the soul out of this country. I mean, he really is.
Yeah.
And I sometimes sit back and wonder, whoa, I don't know whether, well, I shouldn't speculate because I don't know, to be honest.
Mr. Vice President, thanks so much.
Thank you, Joe Biden. Thank you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I've made a very, very compelling case about Donald Trump and his criminal administration. There's no reason folks like DJ and Tiny Tank Top Tim can run around here and say, it's from 2019, and say that Donald Trump is innocent and he's being randomly targeted. It's clear Donald Trump is a criminal. He's sending our children in uniform, because the men and women in uniform, they go in at a young age. He's sending them into these cities to be targeted. That's not protecting America. That's not upholding the Constitution. It's breaking the Constitution. It's breaking your oath. That's why he didn't put his hand on the Bible, when he was supposedly sworn in. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, DJ, and we're not going to let that go. Donald Trump and Pete Kegsbreath, they dropped a boom boom on Iran, and they did not get authorization from Congress to do that. And right now they're sending troops out to Venezuela to, target Maduro, all right, because they don't believe they actually have to follow the rule of law. They got our National Guard out in D.C. in random places, not protecting Americans. No, he has them on trash detail, just totally shaming this country, bringing us down. And then on the middle of all of that, he's hiding his health situation from all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is MAGA, the party of immoral, the party of crime, the party of racism, the party of hatred, the party of ungodliness. They are basically an abomination and a disgrace. They're the party of treason. I just thought of that. Anti-woke. And I told you the story about anti-woke when the one Trump supporter went to Russia and Putin sent him to the front lines and he's no longer alive. Yeah, you're not woke anymore. They are the party of ignorance. They're an embarrassment. They're a disgrace to this country. They're a disgrace to their communities. They're a disgrace to themselves. They look in the mirror every morning and they say, I hate myself. Yeah, you should hate yourself. Think about all the harm you've done to the innocent, especially the children. This is the party of lawlessness, the party of uneducatedness. Is that even a word? But they know what I mean. And ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I conclude this part of my monologue by doing it again one last time. If you can, please join me. Big Zeus in sending Donald Trump.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well.
You're not doing well. And his legion of demons, MAGA demons, where they came from, straight to hell!
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W. Zeus.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
Yeah, and to the people that are getting triggered by the way that I'm running my broadcast, PSA announcement once again.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
Yeah.
If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
How many people in the chat would be happy if MAGA were to leave the face of the earth? I was going to say send them to North Korea and Russia, but at this point, let's just ask can we be honest for a quick second? How many of y'all would be happy if MAGA if they would just leave the face of the earth? Yeah. And I almost want to cry. I almost want to cry because it didn't used to be like this. And I've told the stories. I grew up in a red state. And everybody there was a little sense of decency that we had amongst ourselves. You could still be like, okay, it is what it is. And I honestly thought George Bush was the worst president ever. But Donald Trump we're at a point now where I do believe we can't breed with MAGA. You just can't breed with MAGA because you're going to breed more MAGA demons. And I've never been a person that have just pure hatred in my heart, but I have to pray every morning, Lord, please don't let me have this kind of hate in my heart. And so I use the show like this to try to help and bridge gaps, hopefully, and get people to come to the truth and say, okay, do we really have to get down and dirty like this? And the answer is yes, we got to get down and dirty like this in 2025, the year of our Lord, because some folks are just no good. Right, Q-Dog? Some folks just are irredeemable, ain't no good, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Cursed. And that's MAGA. I mean, I would definitely be wondering if I were a person, and then I'm going to open up the box and have some honest comments. If you're a Trump supporter, go ahead and send Big Zeus a guest request. I don't care at this moment about Joe Biden. I don't care about Obama. I don't care about the 94 crime bill. Hell, you might know a lot more about those things than I do. But with all that knowledge, how come you can't see Donald Trump for who he is? MAGA, with all that you all claim y'all know, DJ, how come you struggle to see this man for who he is? It totally discredits you. The moment you can't see that he's in the Epstein files and he's breaking the law and he's been impeached twice and he is not the victim of a two-tier justice system. And I'll say this, how's he the victim of a two-tier justice system when he never even seen the inside of a jail cell and considering the crimes he committed? That's one heck of a situation. Seriously. All right, let's go to the box, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're tired of hearing me talk. All right, let's go to the box, ladies and gentlemen. Do we have any Trump supporters in the audience this morning? Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter and you want to come up here and at least try to defend Donald Trump. DJ is in too deep. Yeah, DJ is in too deep. Put a 1 in the chat. I know DJ and Tiny Tank Top Tom, they're not the only Trump supporters out there. I know there's other ones out there. Why are you struggling? Why are you hiding? What are you hiding from, MAGA? It's already out there. We see you. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Not one Trump supporter once again wants to come up and actually try to defend their dear leader. Cowards. Yeah. Now, let's be fair. Does Big Zeus go into red spaces, ladies and gentlemen? Have you all seen me go into red spaces? No, fair is fair, right? We got to call balls, strike, yeah. W Zeus. Even when I hear people say Zeus, and they don't say it, they put it in the chat, why are you here, Zeus? And I go, it's not a battle for the weak, all right? But I do it because I got to plant my flag down and help them understand. I'm not afraid to stand on principles like they are. And it's proven every single time I go in there. The moment I open up my mouth and I say one thing, they just start yelling. And it's because they know what light is and they know what darkness is. Even the most evil people, they can tell the difference between what light and darkness is. And they don't like it when I go in there and I shine light. Where'd you get that light from? How did you do that, Zeus? Yeah, because I'm actually following what's going on and I'm paying attention. You can argue about the 14th Amendment, 14th Amendment due process. When they wrote it, it was about slaves. Then I said, well, what exactly is a slave? Yeah, they don't want to have that conversation because then and then they'll get mad at Q Dog because I'll tell them if you really want to have a conversation about issues like that, Q Dog, where you at, bro? Oh, they don't want to hear about that, so don't bring it up, MAGA. Right is right, wrong is wrong. All right, so put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll give him a little more time. Let's give him about 10 more seconds to see if any MAGA soul is brave enough to come up here and explain why they are still supporting Donald Trump. Epstein file. What did he say? Hold on. He said Epstein file's not putting food on table. Is that all you're worried about, Viper? Wow. You see what I'm saying, Viper? You'll sell your soul out for a Big Mac. I can see it. I can see it in your eyes. That's a weird mindset, Viper. That's crazy. I've never heard anyone say that. Sand family, good morning. Sand family, are you there? Going once? Going twice? Maybe you accidentally sent me a guest request. All right, let's go to the next panelist. Let's see. Robert, who is this? Who is this? Robert Wilkins, good morning. And W. Kabira, thank you, Kabira. I saw that, sis. Thank you. I forgot to say that. I was locked in. Robert, good morning. Robert, are you there? You're on TikTok. Well, Robert, goodbye. You know, I don't got time. It's you know, I just like to get people in and out as quick as possible. Lindy. Oh, Robert, I thought you were. Oh, did I? I thought I dropped Robert. Oh, okay. All right, Lindy, are you there? Yeah, my app is glitching.
I didn't mean to join, Zeus.
Oh, okay. Don't
Bless
worry.
you.
Bless you.
God
All
bless
right.
you all, guys. I enjoy you. I really enjoy you. I've been watching you for a long time, Zeus. And Kabira. And all of y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing.
Thank you.
Please keep doing what you're doing. God bless you. Love you all.
All right, love you too. Thank you. See, you never know. That's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting the truth out there, and you never know who's following and listening to these conversations. A lot of time it's repetitive for us, but I do understand it's very important that we have these conversations, as difficult as they are. All right, Attacking, good morning. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. All
right.
Let me do this really quick. Let me put something up, and then I'm going to get to some dates as you would talk, and I was on my computer. Okay, so let's do this. You know how they want Trump on Mount Rushmore?
Yes.
Don't they realize that if they put Trump on Mount Rushmore, he'll always be associated with Jeffrey Epstein? No matter what.
You think so?
No matter what, Trump will always be associated with Jeffrey Epstein. So by putting Trump on Mount Rushmore, if it happens, you're always going to be looking at somebody in the PDO classification.
Yep.
So I think that's disgusting, first off. So anyway, as you're talking about this, I'm on my computer. So Jeffrey Epstein and Trump became friends right around 85, 87. Donald Trump talked to the authorities in 2009 about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there's no documents in regards to the conversation with Trump and the authorities in regards to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
So we don't know if he gave any firsthand knowledge or any knowledge from, let's say, you told me something and then I tell the authorities something, third-hand knowledge type of deal.
Right.
So there's no documents. I can't find anything. Nothing's ever been released. So if Donald Trump was told something by somebody within the 15-year friendship of them, when was Donald Trump told this? Was he told in the 7th year of their friendship and continued to be a friend? Was he told at the 14th year of their friendship? And that's when in 2004 they decided to separate? Was he told in the beginning of the 15-year friendship? Because we know that Donald Trump said that Jeffrey Epstein took employees of his from his Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
So at what point, whether it be secondhand knowledge being told by somebody to Trump or firsthand knowledge from Trump, being there, being part of it, seeing it, and then decides to part ways. But if he had firsthand knowledge, why didn't Donald Trump say anything then on firsthand knowledge? Once you find out that he's peddling children, why didn't he go to the authorities?
DJ, answer his question, DJ.
Okay? Because you have 15 years of friendship. At what point did he know personally? At what point did he know by secondhand conversation? And at those points, why did he not go to the authorities? Why in 2009 that's the first time that he talked to any authorities in regards to this type of action? Did he just ignore it? Didn't care about it? Doesn't care that children are being harmed because he's friends? See, all these mathematical equations have to be answered.
Yeah.
This time frame has to be answered. And as we discuss this, we know on the right-hand side, right now, today, right now, this morning, this afternoon, they're going to ignore everything that happens from this point forward, and they don't care what Donald Trump has ever done in the past and what he said, what women have said. As a matter of fact, when the women come out tomorrow and talk, they're going to not listen and not care.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
It's sickening. It is sickening for any parent, especially a mother. I mean, a father, they're cold-hearted, but women who give birth to children, male and female, if they're assaulted, there's a little bit more of a connection because it's within their body. It comes out of their body. Men, you have connection, but not as much as women, not as much as mothers.
Yeah.
Okay? So for you women to support Trump, for you women to ignore other women, you guys are just freaking. I catched it.
where are the conservative women at who think Big Zeus is handsome because they think that attacking, and I have to say that, and are still supporting Donald Trump? Where are they at?
I'm over talking to a bunch of people that we don't like.
Yeah, exactly. But I want them to at least come up here attacking and answer you. Because
they're not going to. They never do. I try to bring them up in my broadcast one-on-one. I don't do a panel like you don't really do a panel. Yeah. Sometimes we do. We bring people up because that's the way they want to go.
Yeah.
But they're afraid of me for some reason, one-on-one. I don't get anybody coming up. And when they do, they just run off at the mouth or saying horrible names, and then I have to kick them down. But the thing is, they will not answer a question. They won't have proper decorum. They won't be polite. You would let them run off at the mouth if they were polite.
Yeah.
If they were polite. Yeah. If they allowed you to speak, as would I. But they don't want to come up and do it. But again, if Trump is put on Mount Rushmore, he will always be associated with Jeffrey Epstein, and that is one of the sickest things. Besides the other sick thing is Ashley Babbitt being honored. This is a disgrace to the military. They're going to be giving her some honorary proceeding. You have military people who find this disgusting that Donald Trump is going again, spit in the faces of our military men and women who have served this country proudly. Proudly.
Yeah.
But by doing this to Ashley Babbitt, who broke into the United States Capitol building trying to do harm to politicians over a lie from a sitting president.
Yeah.
He caused her unaliving. And she followed him because of he polluted her brain.
Yeah.
She knew what a barricade was for. She was a veteran. She knew that she was doing something against the law.
Go ahead, attacking.
And that Donald Trump caused her to be unalived. And Donald Trump is the only president who spilled American blood on the United States Capitol floor over a lie. Not even a situation of war.
He's telling the truth. Listen up. You're making a lot of folks out there lose it attacking. I'm watching the chat, and these people, they're just making up stuff. They're saying whatever comes to their brains, whatever's left. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, me too. Everybody be good. Everybody be safe. I'm going to drop. And you Trump supporters, even if Trump was to pass away, none of us want that. But he's a horrible man.
Exactly.
He's a horrible man. And he's the most hated person on the planet as a sitting president or a former president by all of our allies and people around the world.
That's true.
While we don't want him to be part of the government as a president, I don't want him to sit his body in the rotunda in the United States Capitol laying in wake because he's a horrible, horrible human being who spilled blood on that floor. All right, guys. Be good.
Thank you. W attacking. Good morning. No lies detected. Again, to the Trump people out there, if you're not going to come in here and actually be a part of the conversation and you want to just come in here and be snowflakes, you must not have heard the message.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As
right?
far as I'm
Didn't I give him a warning?
If you hate our country.
And you do.
If you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And that's a W, Zeus. Yeah. Because right now, instead of focusing on what's really important, right, protecting the children, they want to sit around here and pretend like they're victims. What are you victims of? I thought you all won. I thought you had a mandate, MAGA Queen. Look at MAGA Queen in here crying. It's okay, MAGA Queen. It's okay, MAGA Queen. You still haven't given us the answer that we've been asking you for. Why can't you see Donald Trump for who he is? That's the question. Why did DJ go radio silent when I said, hey, why can't you all, if you're so intelligent and you guys got all this information, so you're smarter than Big Zeus, why can't you see Donald Trump for who he really is? It's because you're blind. You're spiritually blind and probably physically blind, all right, W Zeus? And it's so easy to do. She ain't a queen. They call her Haga Queen. Yeah, they do. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter, all right, and you want to come on up here and try to defend Donald Trump real quick, all right? Who pays you? All right, Robin, why does that even matter, Robin, whatever? Why are they so worried about what I'm doing? You shouldn't be worried about me. I'm not the one who's running your miserable lives, all right? You should be worrying about why you are on your way straight to hell looking at Big Zeus, all right? Because I'm not going to... Okay, Robin, fair enough. Okay, yeah, the Dems pay me. Okay. Oh, but Mr. Bernard. Oh, Mr. Bernard, you said my mama do? Are you talking to me, Mr. Bernard? You said my mama do? Ooh. Oh, now why would you come into my show and start talking about my mom? That's lame. That's so lame. It's every MAGA joke. It always ends with somebody's mama being involved. I mean, sick. W, Little Hawk. Thank you, Little Hawk. Yeah, I mean, all right, put a 1 in the chat if you're a Trump supporter. I'll bring you right on up here. We don't got all morning to do this. Put a 1 in the chat, all right? Seriously. Why is it taking y'all so long to come on up here and at least try to defend your dear leader? Bernard, good morning. How can I help you? Bernard? Bernard, going once, going twice, sold. Sold. All right, good night, Bernard. Sorry I had to do that, but you're taking too long to get pushed or patched through. Let's see. John Moore. Zeus can sense when something is off. Sometimes I can. All right, John Moore. Good morning. How are you? Going once. Going twice. Wow, look like a lot of people are accidentally sending these guest requests. Going once, going twice. Sorry, John. We don't got all morning to play. All right, Claude. Good morning, Claude. Welcome to the show. How can I help you? Good morning, Shay. Nice to see you. Claude. Wow. Claude, are you there? Good morning, Claude. Are you there? Going once? Claude, are you there? Yeah, it might be done on purpose. Oh, yeah, there you go. Claude, going once, going twice. Sold! All right, Double Jack. Let's see, who do we got this morning? Double Jack, 1, 2. Double Jack, are you there? Double Jack, are you there? Good morning, Wakanda.
Sorry, that was a mistake.
Oh, okay. All right. Don't worry. Well, I hope you're having a good one. All right. But thank you. All right. I'm just trying to make sure I give some people I don't get to talk to a chance before we, get to the fun part of the show. Fake Zeus is called Dean. Okay, whatever that means. It's like the other lady. She called me Dwayne. Okay, where are you guys getting these names? Why does every name start with a D when y'all have these conspiracies? That's a W, Zeus. Good morning, Robert. Good morning, Robert. Robert, are you there? Robert, you must be asleep. Call me whatever you want. Call me whatever you want, all right? But at least participate in the conversation, all right? And do us a huge favor and grow up. But guess what? You might think you know something, but I'm going to be honest with you. You don't know anything. That's another W, Zeus. I see people come onto my show and they just start typing in these random names in the chat. And you're like, okay, so that's the new angle. Okay, fine. But you should be paying attention to what I'm saying to you, all right? Before you end up in hell. That's the most important part. Good morning, Nutty.
Good morning, Zeus. Very quickly, because I'm gonna get out of here. But I'm laughing this morning. I'm actually laughing this morning because the one thing that just might take Donald Trump out has happened. The fact that Joe Biden has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Really?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me.
You cannot make this stuff up, Zeus.
You can't. You gotta be.
Joe Biden was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. That just might take the Don out.
Wow.
And listen. Yes, I'm laughing about someone being taken out. Get over it. Thoughts and feelings.
Wow. You know what? I gotta make sure I look into it. But
oh yes, please do, because I found it hard to believe in that. It's true. Joe Biden, has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. Something to do with science. Imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Wow. He's gonna soil his diaper. I mean, whatever is left, because he's on his way out. But this definitely is gonna send him over.
That might just take him out. that might, because the fact that you already gave it to the black man.
Yeah.
You already gave it to the black man, so he's been vying for it ever since.
Yeah.
Well, and now you're gonna nominate Sleepy Joe.
Wow.
So you're gonna nominate Sleepy Joe.
God ain't God good. God is good.
What's that TV show? What's that TV show with the zombies? Zeus.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You're gonna nominate the Walking Dead Sleepy Joe Biden.
Amen. Wow.
So that's it. I just thought I'd give the kingdom a laugh this morning.
Thank you, Nutty. I really did need that. We need that because guess what? You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. President Biden, and he brokered some peace deals, right? Didn't he broker that one with Israel before he left too? I'm not saying that's the reason, but that's interesting.
The nomination is again is for something to do with science. But imagine that. Imagine that he's been being nominated when Donald Trump has been pushing and twisting arms just to get nominated. And if they
so he was nominated in September of 2020. Is that what some of the people are saying? I just want to make sure.
This is recent. This is recent.
Okay. Oh, okay. We got another one. Okay.
Yeah, this is recent.
Okay.
And the fact that he's been, whether or not he gets it, the mere fact that he was nominated.
Someone said they just Googled it. Wow.
The mere fact that he was nominated is going to send them over the edge.
Yeah.
It's going to send them. So do with that what you will. I just thought I'd get up here very quickly while I'm listening and give the kingdom something to we got
somebody saying they're saying some found it, some don't, but you know what? It is what it is. All right. We just got to make sure we get it. But in all seriousness, it did happen. It did happen. Yeah. We just need to narrow down when it was 2020. Okay. Well, thank you, Nutty.
So what the thing most now is when they come through with the Nobel Peace Prize, if they give it to Joe, y'all, goodbye United States. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you.
Because he's fragile. he's very fragile.
Yeah, yeah.
He's very fragile,
Yeah.
and his ego will not be able to withstand.
Yeah,
It just
we
it
know
won't be able
that.
to withstand.
We know that, and you know his ego. It's probably done. What do you think about Trump going missing all these days, though, Nutty? I mean, and he's doing a press conference today at 2 p.m. You heard about this?
2 o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
What say ye?
I thought that was with Raspy Voice. I didn't know that was with Trump, but I thought it was with Raspy Voice.
No. They're saying the president. Now they didn't say President Donald Trump, but they said the president 2 p.m. I noticed there was no intelligence briefing
So
on his
so
schedule
Stephen
today.
Miller is going to be giving the press conference.
Maybe, but isn't
I'm-
it something that he's not been seen on camera lately? And you know they were all over President Biden.
The man who loves to hear himself speak.
Yeah.
And we haven't physically seen him in front of a camera in what 6-7 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the man who is notorious for just tweeting.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not down with conspiracy theories, but this is when Joe Biden would just take a break
Yeah.
for a half a day.
Yeah.
They would say that he's unalive somewhere and that's a body double. But yet mom's the word now. They're very quiet. MAGA's not saying anything. And why is that, MAGA?
Yeah.
I mean, what's good for the goose is also good for the gander.
Amen. Yes.
So,
yeah.
Thoughts and clots. That's all I got to say.
All right.
Thoughts and clots. I'm
Well,
out of
fair
here.
enough. W Nutty in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's a show of force this morning. I'm going to give MAGA another chance. Are there any Trump supporters that are brave enough to come on up here? We had, what was her name yesterday? 81-year-old Nina. Remember Nina? She was brave and she was a MAGA woman. But where are the Trump supporters at? I've seen you come in. You share my live out to all your friends. Hey, Big Zeus is on his radical community. Where they're here to talk, and you're just sitting there listening. And I gotta say, obviously you are. C-Dub says, I'm sick of MAGA. Yeah. Where are the voters out there that are pushing this idea that Donald Trump is, somehow God's gift to the humanity right now? All right. No Biden Peace Prize nominations. All right, so we'll put that in the category of it sounds. I saw that he was nominated, but we need to look into it, right? We got to make sure we're being fair on this platform. All right, W Kabira. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you are a Trump supporter and you want to try to come up here and defend your dear leader. All right, let's see. I'm going to give him about five seconds. 81 years old against her. Yeah. Oh, Steve J, come on up here. Oh, Steve, I can't invite you. I've been waiting to talk to you, but I can't invite you. You could try to send me a guest request, and we can get to the bottom of whatever issues you have going on. All right, as long as you're willing to be honest and transparent. All right. And Steve won't do that. All right. Yeah. All right. Lina was a trip. Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next panelist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. Who do we have next? All right. Good morning, brother Val. Welcome, Val. How are you doing?
Good. After Nutty said that, I did a little quick research myself.
Okay.
The nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize haven't been released yet.
So Nutty is watching a bad video.
Yeah. So we know that there's 200. We know that there's roughly 244 individuals, and there have been a few more added, and they're meeting in February 28th. But we do not know what that list is yet.
So Nutty, you can't do that, Nutty. You got to bring A1 product on the platform. But I get it. Sometimes these videos do send you into a space and you think that, or maybe Nutty was just being funny. All right, we'll still give Nutty, and then we'll give Val a round of applause. All right, because it's the point that matters. But I get it. And thank you, Val, for fact checking it. All right, we need it.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it's there. Right? So the thing is we just don't know yet. So we'll find out when they decide to release that list.
Okay.
So the thing I wanted to talk about a little bit this morning was that, we had people down there going, and and I read one comment that kind of struck me.
Okay.
Democrats are the only ones complaining. Okay.
They said that?
Yeah. That's a false statement. Okay. Plenty of Republicans are complaining about what's going on right now. It's not just Democrats. Okay. I mean, you've got poll numbers that are showing him down in the 30s now for, you know what I'm saying, for approval ratings.
Mm-hmm.
The country's starting to feel the effects of what he has done. And that's the reason you have courts going after him. These cases are being fought because companies are going to get together and states are going to get together and they're going to fight these programs because they're starting to hurt their states. And they're starting to hurt businesses within those states. Small business owners are declining at a rapid rate. Okay, these are things that are going on because of the policies this man has put in place. And, y'all wanted to talk a little bit about the Nobel Prize and a man that wants to be nominated so bad he's willing to pay anything in the world to get it done, right? I want you all to remember something. Nobel Prize is a very prestigious award to win.
Yeah.
And you have to actually do real work in one of the categories to get that prize or to even be nominated for that prize. Guys, I want to be real honest about this man's work from from one full term in office and, 7 months in office right now.
You're right.
I want to be real clear.
Go ahead.
The only real accomplishment this man has had over that entire time is 2 tax bills that have actually hurt the American people, that have actually taken money out of the American people's pockets to move it to the wealthy. At the cost of trillions of dollars in debt that both these bills, one bill has already created and the second bill will create, some people are estimating double what the first one did.
Wow.
So with that in play, this is what you want to give a Nobel Peace Prize to? Because he hasn't created peace in any area. He claimed the India deal. India is so mad they don't even want to do business with the U.S. because he's trying to claim it.
True.
Okay?
True.
He had nothing to do with any of the peace deals he tries to talk. He can't get anything done with Russia and Ukraine. He can't get anything done with Iran and Israel. These are realities.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't understand why people keep falling for these okie dokes. I mean,
Gregory, he said it's not our wars. He said those aren't our wars, Val. Could you?
They're not. You know what I'm saying? Sir, he made them his war when he said he would create peace in those areas.
W Val. W Val, wow.
He took those himself. When you make a claim that I will have the Ukraine-Russian war done 24 hours after I win the election.
Yeah.
Okay. We gave him 24 hours after he got into office. Okay. He's not capable of getting this done.
Thank you.
He doesn't, and Biden put it perfectly in what you played earlier.
Yeah.
He does not understand geopolitical politics. He has no experience in geopolitical politics.
Wow.
And he won't put people in place that actually do to help him out. Because he wants loyalists.
Yes.
And somebody that actually understands geopolitical politics is not going to be a loyalist.
You're nailing it. Now, Val, I was also thinking, you heard about the court today saying it was illegal for him to put the military into these cities and, to do law enforcement. What are your thoughts about that? Because I've noticed DJ has just gone radio silent since I said that.
Well, yeah, it is illegal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what to, you know what I'm saying? The best way I can put that, you know what I'm saying? The best way I can put that is this. We know the laws were in place to stop this from happening, right? We know the laws were in place about turning the military against the American people.
Correct.
Okay? We And yes, is there a way to go? And y'all will keep trying to use that law, but you need to read that law. Okay?
Yep.
Because it says there has to actually be a federal emergency, and there was not. We're talking about a city that has actually reduced its crime rate by 35%. Their police department and what they have in place were doing their job.
Get them, Val.
Bringing in the military and then threatening military in Chicago and other cities across this country, LA, all the different places, is against the Constitution. There is no federal emergency, because if there was a federal emergency, presidents would have done this decades ago.
Absolutely.
Okay? And they'd have done it every decade since, but they don't, because it's actually against the law.
Yep.
Okay? Crime's going to be crime. I mean, that's who we are in this country, but y'all have this bad, bad way of thinking about who's actually committing these crimes.
Doc.
Okay?
Yeah.
You've taken the District of Columbia. You've turned people, our military, against the people of our country, and it seems like you're really going after one group of people.
You don't say. It's mighty peculiar.
Yeah, it seems like you're going after one group of people. It seems like the neighborhoods that you're focusing on seem to have black individuals.
Thank you. And spot W Val.
This is where the problem is, and this is who he has been his whole life.
Yeah.
We've told you all about what he's done in his own businesses over the course of his time when it comes to racism.
Talk to him.
This is nothing new.
Gregory, listen.
This is nothing new, Gregory. And these things are putting him more and more behind the eight ball. I mean, don't even get me started on the fact that we don't even know where the hell he is right now.
Ooh.
Okay?
True.
So, you know what I'm saying? We have people in this country that rely on the government.
Mm-hmm.
When you really get down to it, we all rely on the government, because
Absolutely.
the decisions that are made in that office, especially when you're trying to govern by executive order,
Yeah.
when those decisions that are made will affect each and every one of us in this country, like it or not.
Yeah.
You can bury your head in the sand and go, it ain't going to affect me. But just like the ostrich, the only thing's going to be left is the head in the sand.
with the butt in the sky in the air, getting tore up. MAGA is nothing but a bunch of sitting ostriches, a bunch of sitting ducks, and you don't know anything. They don't have a clue, Val, that we see them for who they really are. And it's really embarrassing. They try to pretend like it's everything but what you just said it was. He's targeting black people, he's targeting brown people, and they want to come up here and talk to you about securing the border and the economy.
Yeah, it makes no sense. One, the border was becoming more and more secure since April of last year.
Bingo.
Okay, this was a steady drop. This was a steady drop based on the work that the Biden administration had done over the course of time during its administration. And yes, you know what? People don't want to come to the border when you're threatening their lives.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. But that is coming at a massive cost, again, to the American public.
Mm-hmm.
It is raising our grocery prices. It is raising our housing prices. Okay?
Yeah.
I want somebody to go out and build a house right now.
Yeah.
Okay? You will find that building is down again.
Yeah.
Okay? What was starting to raise under the Biden administration and starting to go is actually starting to drop again.
Yep.
Okay? Oil production is going down because steel is becoming so expensive. This is why they're after these tariffs.
Ooh.
This is why
illegal
courts want to
tariffs.
shut them down. Yes. And then you take a president that yet again works a deal with OPEC to flood the market with oil again.
Yep.
That is also going to put American oil companies out of business.
That part.
Drilling will go down. If y'all doubt me for a second, go look at the rig count.
Yep.
Compare the rig count just 6 months or just a year ago compared to today.
Wow.
And you will see that it is dropping. Okay, this is because it's becoming more expensive. And when they flood the market with foreign oil, like he's doing right now, the stuff y'all said you didn't want to do, just drill, baby, drill, right? Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you flood the market with foreign oil, you lower the price per barrel, American oil companies quit drilling.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Yeah. W, Val. I wanted to say this. You have one of your fans says, "Shut up, Val." Roger Henderson 411, and I invited them up. What do you have to say to deranged Roger, who's getting triggered by all the knowledge and truth you're voluntarily sharing this morning, and he's fighting it? What do you have to say to people like him?
1,000,000 years from now, Robert, we'll take your head out of the sand as a fossil.
That's spot on. I gotta give it. That's another one. You get it, Roger. You're a dinosaur to us right now, right? Nobody cares about what you say, Roger. Oh my gosh, that's funny, Val. I gotta give it to you. Well, listen, brother, I appreciate you. All right. And we're gonna move it on. If Roger decides to grow some and come up here and try to talk to you, I'll bring you back up if possible. But I think Roger, he learned his lesson. And Roger, that's a lesson for not just you, but for all of your kind. Don't ever say that to Val on my platform. It'll be your worst day. Seriously. All right, Val.
All right, buddy.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. See what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? It's not that difficult to get in the box and tell the truth. And shame the devil. All right, let's go. Good morning, the beautiful Shay. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We're laying it down, but you can see that. What's your observation and what's going on from the way you see things?
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering, there's a lot going on, right? I mean,
we got evidence.
Oh yeah. So,
that's Rudy.
That's Rudy. Yeah. So, I just want to remind people, because I was listening to a couple of MAGA lives and they were talking about the left is so upset about President Trump giving Rudy Giuliani the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I don't know why. He was such a great mayor of New York. He was such a good guy. They're just so angry.
Wow.
I don't know why they think it's a problem.
Wow.
So I just thought I'd come on and remind them who Rudy Giuliani is and what he has become since the tragedy on 9/11, which, yes, he did step up as mayor that day, right?
Yeah.
And listen, I had huge respect for him, as I did for George W. Bush and how they handled that horrific day. But after that, he's just fallen. Let's remind them. He tried to overthrow the will of the people. If you remember, he took upon himself to blame Ruby and Shay Moss and defamed them and said that they were stealing ballots in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
In which he lost a $148 million defamation lawsuit to those two beautiful black women.
Wow.
And he went on to lie and do many court cases and saying that the election was, and lied. He also has filed for bankruptcy. He's also been suspended from his radio show.
Wow.
Oh, and let's not forget, he has been disbarred.
Wow. Quite the record.
Quite the record. So, let alone this famous scene where he was trapped in Borat, right? In the movie. And you guys can go look at that. And
I remember.
Yes.
I remember he was invited into a hotel room. He got a little whiskey on the rocks, I believe, and they made him believe he was about to, have some interaction with this woman right here. And I mean, he believed it so much. My man, he got horizontal, just like that.
Boy, did
ready,
he.
right? He was ready to, impregnate someone in there. And I mean, that's where he was ready to take it. And I said, wow. This is the guy Donald Trump is giving the Medal of Freedom to, right?
Yes, exactly. So I just wanted to say, we're not, these wild, hysterical people you make us out to be. There is a reason we would say not the greatest candidate to give the Presidential Medal of Freedom to. And I do find it weird. He's in the hospital, right? Poor guy had a tragic car accident, right?
Right.
Still don't know why he was really there, but regardless, wish him well in recovery.
Well, can I say what I want to say about that?
Please,
isn't it so wild that the week that we're going to get some Epstein victims to speak out, you got Robert Mueller, I can't talk, and then Rudy Kaludi, Dirty in the Booty, and you caught him in the horizontal, but all of a sudden he was being a good Samaritan, and now this happened, right? And again, it might have actually happened, but I just got to say how convenient, because he actually made comments about Epstein when he was in Trump's administration the first time around. He made comments.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. So, but why would they give it to him now? He's in the hospital. Why don't you wait till he can actually be in the ceremony? It's really strange to me. Yeah. So I do know that this is going to be some huge distractions. Yep. I don't know what's going to happen today at the 2:00 conference. What's he going to look like? How's he doing? Is he actually going to be there? There's a lot of questions about today. So
I've heard a lot of things. I hear he might change the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. I heard he might be resigning, right? Because what they're saying is this: the president's health, it's tied to our national security and the economy, right? And so if people have doubts about him, his health, then that affects the policies that he's trying to implement, and people lose confidence. And so it's both. It could be both.
It is. And the thing is, too, that I sit here and go, okay, so Sleepy Joe, right? I don't remember Sleepy Joe going missing from talking to the press for 8 days.
Nope.
I don't remember there being ever any of this situation. He never did that, but yet he was Sleepy Joe and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of things that are being hidden, and as Val has termed it, and I love it, it's accufession, right? Accufession.
Lovely.
I know, yes, W. And it's like anything that they go after, they're actually trying to cover themselves.
Yeah.
But have you talked about Xi Jinping hosting the Economic Forum?
I have not, but please enlighten these dark-minded individuals supporting Trump.
So China hosted an economic forum that the United States wasn't invited to.
Tara.
And so Modi shows up, which is the prime minister of Iran.
Correct.
Of India, excuse me, of India.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you have, what's his face, Vladimir Putin showed up. Also got the red carpet treatment from China. So they have this meeting and they do these deals. And Modi and Putin ride together, much like Trump and Putin rode together in Alaska. There's all this weird stuff. But then Putin came out and said that I met with Trump and we talked about a peace deal. And now with Ukraine and Russia, now I have talked about it with China and India. We've all come to terms. And now I'm sharing with them how Trump is going to, what he's going to say about this. So you understand that now we've got China, India, and Russia all barring together, leaving the United States out of economic discussions.
Wow.
Because they don't want to deal with Trump anymore, right?
Yeah.
So you guys often fearmongered us about BRICS. So now the value of the dollar has dropped from, I think, $1.08 to now under to 92 cents. It once went as low as 87 cents.
Wow.
It's back to 92 cents. Wow. So now, because what India has said very clearly is we don't trust Trump. In fact, he's sitting here saying that he's doing the 50% tariffs on us, and he's claiming that he had anything to do with the peace deal between India and Pakistan. So this is what we're dealing with. This is, you guys are sitting here going, America first. Well, what happened to America First? Why is the Department of Defense now being called the Department of War? I thought you guys were against war.
No new ones, right? No
new wars under Trump, but now we're changing the Department of Defense to the Department of War. What?
Yes.
None of this stuff is making sense. Are y'all waking up at all? Just kind of going.
See, now I'm getting angry. Go ahead, Shay.
Right. I mean, and now we're putting nuclear submarines to stop smug trafficking. I don't understand why we're using our troops for smug trafficking.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought our borders were secure, so we don't really need to put nuclear submarines in the ocean, do we? If our borders are closed.
Yeah.
Aren't our borders closed? Our borders are closed.
That's what they say. But
I
also
all locked down.
Yeah. I mean, they lie so much at this point, Shay. Do we really trust anything Donald Trump and his administration say? No. And then you have these right-wing influencers covering up his health issues. What we just went through this weekend with his health is it's unexplainable, it's unforgivable, and it's evil. And any of you who have been complicit in it, you know what I say, Shay? They are a part of the deep state cover-up. I never ever thought the deep state was real. But where we're at right now, you got to ask yourself, what are they hiding?
Well, I mean, it's a good question. I mean, what is going on with him? I mean, this is crazy stuff.
Evil.
They've released a list of medications he's on. He's on 3 specific medications to stop him from having another stroke.
Oh, really?
Which means he's had a stroke. Like aspirin. Aspirin used to be used for preventative of heart disease and stroke. It's now being used to prevent it from happening again. So I assume he's under the best medical care and anything up to date with dealing with that. Yeah, he's on 3 particular drugs to stop him from having another stroke, not just from stroking, but having another stroke. So there's all this kind of stuff that's been coming out. And kudos to the federal judge in California that ruled that the National Guard that was in violation of states' rights for what he did with the National Guard in Los Angeles. So hopefully that will stop him from sending them to Chicago and anywhere else he feels needed. So that was a huge win for democracy. Thank God. And our constitutions. Y'all, there's just so much stuff. I mean, I won't take up too much more time, but this has just been a very interesting. And the thing I try not to be a conspiracy theorist, but I'll end with this, my friend. So there's some stuff going on. And the reason I know there's some stuff going on with his health and that they're covering it up is because y'all know anything that has ever been said about this man has responded to it, right?
Yeah.
He has not responded to any of this stuff about his health. He's not done one thing about it, nor have his sons. Don Jr. would be saying something.
Yeah.
They would be saying stuff. That J.D. Vance, any of them would be coming out and saying stuff. None of them have come out in the last 8 days to debunk the rumors of his health decline. Not one. This is weird. So this is what makes me think there has to be a cover-up because this is not normal in any way. Plus, he's been from day one, he's been in front of the cameras. Day one.
I gotta give it to you, Shay. And if this is just a stunt,
I don't know.
If this is a stunt, it's an evil stunt because you shouldn't do this.
It is.
We need answers, but like I said, Shay, I think it's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting that the week the 10 Epstein victims are about to get out here and start to sing. Yes. Robert Mueller, Trump, everybody. I can't make it. Something's going on. Health. My health is an issue. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, 10 of them. 10 of the victims. Thank God for Thomas Massey, who's a Republican, by the way.
Yeah. I'd be sick if I were Trump too, to be honest with you. If I were in Trump's situation, I'd be sick. This is bad because Ghislaine Maxwell, she's the one that these victims will all be able to speak about. And I'm pretty sure when it's all said and done, you're gonna have to ask yourself, why is he trying to pardon this lady?
Yeah. I moved her to a minimum security prison and work release.
Yeah. I mean, even if Trump is innocent, because that's the angle, he's not in. Well, why is he moving heaven and all earth, moving every mountain on earth to get this lady in a nice space where she's not talking? That's crazy to me.
It is crazy. It is really crazy. I mean, you know, these people like MAGA Queen, all these idiots in here, they won't wake up to it, but I guess they'll see it eventually. It's going to have to come out. They're going to have to do the 25th Amendment. They're going to have to do things.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's cooked. It's very interesting.
Goodbye, MAGA Queen. This you might as well enjoy the last moments of your dear leader, because this is all self-inflicted, and you know it. All right.
Absolutely.
He ate those hamburgers. He drank that Diet Coke. No, and they told him not to do it, but he chose to do it. So he said, "This is how I want to go out." It's his fault, MAGA Queen. He could have exercised.
Years of bad health practices, but also the amount of stress. Being president of the United States is one of the most stressful jobs on the planet. When you already have a weak constitution and you're old, it's really not a place for older people in that job. So they really need to be in their 50s and 60s. You know, I mean, it's really a tough one. And so, not surprised he's declined so fast. It's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy. But man. So you might have to do a closet of truth after the press conference
after
today.
the 2 o'clock. If it's serious enough,
if it's
then I'll do the closet of truth. And we're not playing any games, especially if it's that serious where his health is on the line, MAGA. At this point, I'm going to ask you to just simply renounce your citizenship, right? They need to just go ahead and leave the country. I don't even want to deal with you anymore. It's a done deal. And they could have saved his life, Shay. They could have saved their dear leader's life if they would have said, "Sir, we don't think you should run again. In the best interest of your health, we don't think you should run again." But they didn't do that, so they chose to make an example.
To the women, if they had just listened to the black woman, they had just listened to Hillary Clinton, if they had just listened, everything they have said has been spot on. Every single thing.
Elder abuse, Tinkerbell. Yep.
Yeah, it is elder abuse.
It is. Well, all right, Shay.
All right, my friend. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
You're welcome.
Love
you, Shay.
Wow. Oh my God! Thank you for the gifts.
That's you have a lot of love here. People love you, Shay. Seriously.
Wow. I love you all back. Seriously. All right.
All right. Thank you as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, that is the beautiful Shay. All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. Who do we have next? Good morning, beautiful Antonia. Welcome to the show. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been doing okay and taking care of yourself.
To go on with Shay's picture, not from that picture, but if you look at previous pictures, this is just my opinion. You could see his one eye is smaller than the other in a lot of pictures, and that can sometimes be a sign of a stroke or a previous stroke. So the aperture, how wide his eye is the one tends to be a lot smaller when he's not animated, when he's not trying to smile or anything like that. And then regarding Chicago, I don't think he's going to send the National Guard after that came out with LA. But the reason that violent crime has been falling in Chicago, I was actually a juror on a murder trial earlier this year and learned a lot. And a lot of Chicago has these pod cameras. I don't know if they exist in other cities, but they're these cameras that are by lights or in the area of like a city, of a neighborhood, and they're monitored by police officers. And this helps them watch what's going on. They sit in a room and officer is watching 1 to 2 cameras at a time. They're 360 and they watch people. They're watching what's going on. It helps them build cases. So recently, this is how they call it, a crime spree of people robbing people. They caught the whole group. They've put a lot of plainclothes officers in these neighborhoods that gets to know the community. And this is how they solve a lot of stuff. So we don't need the National Guard here. If anything, he could give the city some more federal money for more of these pod cameras. It does help these officers build cases, stay safe, and just watch them. And they're able to catch all these people.
Yeah. It's more of a law enforcement matter than it is a national security matter, is what it sounds like you're saying. And the sad part about this is it's the fake concern that these people have, because they could do so many things to help those inner cities, like you said, passing legislation, maybe getting funding. They could even fundraise and try to help some of these places that are actually doing the real work to actually have positive change. But they are not doing that. They want to send in the military. Right?
No, he could send us some more federal money for these cameras because we've had these cameras for a while. They just haven't been as many available in certain neighborhoods, or it kind of, if they're watching a certain street, they kind of ended somewhere so they couldn't continue to follow what was going on. So we can put more into these cameras, but we don't need the National Guard.
Nope.
And unfortunately, it is the crime is heavy in certain neighborhoods, but that's more of gang activity. And that's why they use these cameras, which helps them find these rings, find these people. So we do not need the National Guard here.
Yeah,
and there's definitely something wrong with him. I don't know what this press conference is going to be. It would be awesome if he stepped down, but he has been sick for a while. Just look at his photos. Especially that one eye tends to be very small, which is typically a sign of a previous stroke.
There you go, Antonia. And you know what? He's been sick for a while, but he's sicker. And there was the photo of him in the back of the beast. Did you see that photo? Do I have that photo? Let me see. Look at him. Yeah, look at that guy right there. Look at him. Oh,
he does not look good. I don't know if that swelling could be from him falling. Maybe he hit his head.
Maybe he did.
Somebody said a brain aneurysm. You typically do not survive a brain aneurysm like that. If it had leaked and they caught it late, he would have really bad problems with speech. It would be really bad. My mom had 2 brain aneurysms and we caught them before they leaked. There's a lot of rehab involved afterwards. There would be bigger signs in an aneurysm, but he could have had an ischemic stroke previously. But you could tell from his eyes that something's going on.
Yeah, and someone asked, are we doctors? I'm not a doctor, but I got common sense. All right, and if that means something to you, then I do have to say the reason, and I believe, Antonia, we probably would be more sensitive to this situation had we not been placed in the situation we've been placed in with President Biden to a certain degree. Would you say?
Yes.
Right? Because somebody getting old and experiencing the parts, being older and so it'd have been like, that's what happens. They're old. But it's the way MAGA attacked Joe Biden and still does. They attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband, remember? They thought it was a joke.
The hypocrisy with MAGA it's unbelievable. The way they attacked Biden never said the gibberish Trump says.
Yeah.
Trump has like word salad, like nothing connects. And somebody asked the question. I do have a medical background. I'm not a doctor, but I do have a medical background.
Yeah.
So like I said, smaller eye, droopy face can sometimes be signs of a previous stroke, but his eyes definitely are uneven. He could even have something called ptosis, where there's laxity in his muscle in his eyes like that.
Wow.
But I think he's had a previous stroke.
Yeah. And the rambling, the gibberish, I call it the Epstein curse. When you just put it all in a package and you say all these health issues, this isn't a sign of strength. This is a sign of weakness. And if I were
my phone that Trump is moving Space Force.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. Where is he moving it? Because
I don't know. It just came across my phone and I swiped it, but it said Trump is moving Space Force. So maybe that's what the press conference is.
Well, I mean, again, while China and India and Russia are eating our lunch, that's what he decides to do. How weak does that make America look? Ladies, what a disgrace. That doesn't make us look strong. That makes us look weak. Huntsville, Alabama.
Somebody said Bell's palsy. Yes, it could be, but you'd see more facial droop. Like you'd see it more of his mouth than just his eyes.
Let's see. Let me see something real quick. Let me make sure I get the Space Force thing taken. Trump will move Space Command from Colorado to Alabama. President Trump says President Donald Trump plans to announce today that the U.S. Space Command will move from Colorado to Alabama. Okay, the cross-country move reverses former President Biden's decision not to relocate the command, which oversees space operations and defense satellites. It also reinstates a plan Trump made in the final days of his first term. Oh, okay. So, in other words, another stunt. Takesha says we don't need that. Waste
I don't
of
even.
money.
What is Space Force? Are we? I don't even understand what that is. I've never understood what Space Force is. Are we watching for aliens or something? I don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
Just a waste of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's obviously military technology that they're using in outer space, and I believe it's tied to that, because the rules around space are a lot different than like the rules here in the United States. Now, I don't know too much about it, but it's a race to space, so to speak. Why move it from Colorado to Alabama, though? That's the question. And how much money is that going to cost the American people? I mean, every time you turn around, Antonio, this man finds another way to waste millions and millions of dollars.
It's got to be a kickback. Somebody's got a contract for something. They're going to build a wall that's not even a wall, and then they're going to paint the wall so nobody touches the wall. Everything's a kickback.
Mm-hmm. Listen to this. It says Colorado's delegation has argued that moving Space Command would hurt national security. The unit became fully operational in 2023 at the Colorado Springs site, and the state's leaders contending moving it across the country would hurt the military's ability to defend United States space assets. They also argue Space Command will lose many of its civilian workers and contractors who won't agree to move across the country. Colorado Republicans, including close Trump ally Representative Lauren Boebert, said in recent months that the state was still in the mix due to the national security imperative of the space mission. But Alabama leaders point to Huntsville's higher rank in most of the Air Force basing criteria as proof they won the competition. Moving to Alabama will also likely prove cheaper than staying in Colorado due to lower cost. Wow, what a disgrace. What a disgrace.
I don't understand why there's not a bigger uproar about all this waste in taxes.
Yeah.
All this wasted money, we could have fed children, we could have helped the unhoused, we could have helped with education, we could have helped more kids, healthcare. Actually, if he was so against Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act, we're still waiting 10 years later for a new plan. But if we had gone onto a one-payer healthcare system, it would actually cost us less money for healthcare than it does right now.
Yeah. What a disgrace. What a disgrace.
So I don't know why MAGA thinks he's doing such a great job when he continues to waste our hard-earned money in taxes, giving his friends kickbacks and contracts and painting fences that don't need to be painted. It's just a waste of money. And they sit there with their thumbs up their butt and applaud him.
Yeah. What a disgrace. What a disgrace. Well, listen, Antonio, Big Zeus has to rock and roll and get up out of here, all right? But as always, thank you so much, and it was lovely to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, give Antonio a huge round of applause. No! Lies detected! All right, hold on. Val said he had to add something. Wow, the Dow is down 500. Lord have mercy. Let's go. Good. Yes, Val, you said you had something to add real quickly?
Yeah, real quick. On the Space Force deal, I want people to remember something. This is a power play by Alabama because they're a red state, right? This is all this is because I want people to understand that if Space Force is going to be what it was claimed to be, it needs the resources that are in Colorado. It needs the U.S. Air Force Academy, okay? It needs the research that is done by the U.S. Air Force Academy, and it needs that in a quick way. It also needs the telescopes and everything that exist in Colorado, you know what I'm saying, that we look into space with, okay, and the things that we do that they're not going to have the access to and that Alabama cannot build. They do not have the land for it.
Wow.
Okay, or the height.
Wow.
Okay, people forget what Colorado is, not to mention they don't have the mountain complex that we have there that works on this same research.
Wow.
Okay, this is stupid.
Yeah.
There's nothing, I mean, anybody that can't see through what this actually is trying to give Alabama something that they don't deserve or need. or can even facilitate or support
Yeah.
is a big problem. And what they said about people not going there
Yeah.
is correct, because the resources these scientists need are in Colorado.
Wow.
There was no accident. This was put in Colorado Springs, where the U.S. Air Force Academy was.
Wow.
This was not an accident.
Well, I hope they do like an injunction or something and stop this thing. All right, because this is, to me, it's a disgrace, and like they say, it puts our nation at more of a risk. When the experts are saying this is not a good thing to do, and you go against the experts, it's sort of like what's going on with the CDC, and you just know a lot of Americans are going to end up being harmed, and you're going to be wasting a lot of money. How disgraceful. Well, let's watch this play out, all right, Val? And 2:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, we'll see. We'll see what's really going on, all right?
Righty, guys.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give another huge round of applause to Brother Val. Thank you for coming up here. Yeah, it is another distraction. It is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. That concludes this special broadcast. I want to thank each and every single one of you. I see you, Takesha, for tuning in this morning and just really helping to lay it down and make this country way better and get rid of the MAGA demon. All right, you all deserve a huge round of applause. All right, but I also want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. W. Rick, I see you, champ. Because without you, this show wouldn't be educational, entertaining, and engaging. But I also got to give one last round of booze and shame. And you know who this goes out to. Those who are blind and cannot hear all of the evil Donald Trump is spewing on this great country, actually the whole entire world, maybe even the universe, but then want to sit up here and try to pretend like they're somehow victims of Joe Biden and the Democrats. You are nothing but a bunch of weaklings. You're weaker than snowflakes. You're weak sauce, all right? And you know what? Hell will be your portion. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to hell one last time.
Silence, you MAGA.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, WVIP, take care and stay safe. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And stop reporting. Dog, I hope you're okay, bro. WVIP. Yeah, let's watch 2:30. You go. Let's go, let's go. Oh, there's the day. WVIP user. Good morning. Nice to see you. Looking good. Let's go. Hey, Ninja. Why are you pointing at Big Zeus? My sister. Thank you. You're so kind. Keep up the great work. I know you're here even sometimes. I know you're doing other things, but I know you're here. And I'm connected to that. Let's go. Let's go. I woke up like this. Let's go. Smoking Jew. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go! You know what we came to do, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go! Are you not entertained? Kevin! All right, ladies take care. Have a great rest of your morning, all right? I'll be back tomorrow, or maybe earlier, depending on what happens at 2:30. We are out of here. Take care. Hey.